name is Pinky, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pinky Inu. So Pinky Inu is more than a meme token. What we do is we're providing like a women empowerment to give them more opportunities in the real world by actually using our utilities. As you know, the pandemic was a lot of dark times and everybody was locked. The whole country was on lockdown. So then I thought like, okay, what can we do different in this world? And what is trending right now? What's the hot item right now? And I looked at the crypto world, right? And I said, okay, that's a good investment and everything, but what are we missing? So I noticed that we have, Shiba, Doge, baby Doge, but we have no girl versions at all. And that's why I decided, I was like, you know what? I think it's about time we have a girl Shiba. And that's how I came to design girl Shiba. But then I looked at, what's a good character that, that I am inspired by. So every girl out there growing up, even male, they have their own action figure. Women have their favorite doll, but I said, me, I loved Hello Kitty. I grew up to her, right? And so I used her image, and then I started to design what Pinky Inu would look like. And then it took me a year to create Pinky. So that was my vision, and after I created Pinky, I said, Hello Kitty has her own online merchandise. She's a worldwide character right now. Over the whole world knows her. So maybe Pinky can be that. And now I started to incorporate real-world utilities, the NFTs, cosmetic merchandise, and merchandise is unisex too, and also the metaverse. When I started to have somebody design Pinky, I said, you know what? Pinky is gonna be, obviously it's gonna be a pink color because you want girl, right? And so I said, what's a good name? So then I thought about all these names, and at first I was like, candy doesn't sound very, it doesn't match with Pinky. So then I said, pink. Okay, Pinky. Inu is, because of, Shiba Inu, like all those, then we added in there. But eventually I think Pinky just itself would probably be better, and I think we might rebrand it just to Pinky only. For me, I feel that what I used always growing up to this day is not even just when I created Pinky, even though people were just saying that, oh, you're not gonna make it, and it's such a tough world, it's so much men dominated. You don't have, but for me, I built a team. Every CEO has to have a team running the team, right? So for me, I have a good, strong team where we can actually come together. But I feel that, for men, yes, they say that, I can share you one quote is that if there's a will, there's always gonna be a way. So that's what I learned in life, and no matter what, if you don't try, you would never know. It only takes somebody to make a difference and other people to just, open up their eyes to say, wow, I feel like I can do this, I can do this too. And other people ask if, are we gonna show people on how we created Pinky? There's a lot of great things out there that we want to do, but we're trying to build a massive community, because without a community, you're not going to have a token. You're not going to even have anything, right? So you need to have a strong community, and right now our community is about a really good, strong community that we've built. We only been launched October 4th. So very new, and we're just here, excited to be here because we can actually show everybody who Pinky Inu is.
My name is Boris Richard. I work for JS Held, and my title is Senior Managing Director. So JS Held is a global consulting company. So we have over 1,500 employees, and we are present in many countries. So, across many continents. So we have strong presence in the United States, but we're also active in Europe and other parts of the world. JS Held is a multi-sector. So we provide data analytics. We help insurance companies and construction companies with the handling, the claims investigations. We have a strong global investigations team. So we work with financial institutions. We address compliance issues when they arise. In my particular sector, so I lead the crypto advisory and digital assets economic disputes. And everything that's entailed in that. Sometimes it comes to that. Sometimes it comes to defending good actors. And sometimes it comes to really helping, the crypto natives to, go up and running with their ideas. I think we bring strong data analytics capabilities. We bring a very broad clientele base, and we bring a deep understanding of how the blockchain works. So we are engaged in complex blockchain investigations because we know how smart contracts work. We know how the DeFi protocols work. We know how the consensus protocols work. So this, the deep knowledge of the digital assets and blockchain technology, coupled with our data analytics capabilities, allows us to, be effective in addressing our clients' needs. Plus, some of us, including myself, we bring trading experience and investment experience, in my case from fixed income markets. So therefore, I'm particularly fascinated about the microstructure of cryptocurrency markets and how they work. So we can bring that industry experience and lay over on top of our economic knowledge and data analytics knowledge to solve problems pretty well. I think more regulation is coming. I think more regulation is good because if it protects investors and makes the cryptocurrency markets orderly, so that's definitely a positive thing. The thing about the regulation, it has to be predictable. And so the actors, either in crypto markets or in investments or other types of advisory businesses, they have to know what the regulations are. So it's very critical to know how to work with your regulator and have a two-way street conversation, and we have multiple regulatory agencies in the United States who cover the crypto markets and cover the digital assets. We do see crackdowns on bad actors, and I think that's a good thing to do because to protect investors and to make sure that there is market integrity in crypto markets, you definitely have to crack down on bad actors. Sometimes it's difficult because blockchain is anonymous, or pseudo-anonymous as they say, so sometimes it's difficult to identify who exactly did what. But there are tools and there are analytics and there are capabilities, some of which we provide at JS Health to weed out those bad actors. With certain surveillance tools and with the tools to identify scam tokens and bad actors, I think blockchain carries tremendous promise. And it brings quite a bit of a transparency to it because if you think about blockchain transactions, they're visible, they're traceable, right? Sometimes assets is difficult to recover, but this is where the council and the regulatory agencies step in. But in general, definitely it's a very promising and enticing area.
My name is Meta Parlikar. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and one of the co-founders of Casper Labs. I was very lucky to have been exposed to technology. Getting roots in technology as a female really came from being exposed to it as a very young woman. So when I was 12, 13, I was doing the, kind of cliche, building computers in the basement with my father. And then when the dot-com boom started, I realized that I had a lot of affinity for tech, became a software engineer, and the rest is history after that. So that's how I managed to grow into this, and the leadership at Casper Labs has really empowered me to kind of build the protocol and the image of what I would use. So I'm very lucky. The goal of Casper Labs really is to onboard the next 100 million users onto blockchain, right? It's a very ambitious goal. We believe that will happen by working with enterprises, through enterprises, that users will adopt blockchain technology by working with companies and products and services and offerings that they use today. And so working with those companies to help them adopt blockchain technology is what we're all about. We like to focus very much on the CTOs and CIOs of the top Fortune 500s or startups that are looking to build new products and services that use blockchain technology. These are the core folks that we're really interested in helping. I think Casper Labs solves a really important problem from the world, and that really is scaling out the adoption and use of blockchain technology so that consumers can use it safely. And we believe that's going to happen through enterprises, through products and services that people use today, every day. We're going to do that by enabling enterprises to use the technology. And so they're used to adopting brand new technology by working with a professional services team that trains them, that holds their hand, that guides them, and to build those products that consumers can use, that use blockchain technology on the back end, right? So it's an enabling technology. We don't know we're using cloud when we use cloud. We don't know that we're using HTTP when we use the internet. And similarly, we don't need to know that we're using blockchain technology to reap the benefits of it. So our goal is to work with them to build those products and features and functionalities so that consumers can benefit from the tech itself. The blockchain is a peer-to-peer network that helps people trust the data that flows through it. So any data that flows through the blockchain protocol can be trusted. And the amount of trust really depends on the deployment of the blockchain, but at a high level, you can think of it like a trust protocol. So one of the safety issues with blockchain is that if you lose your keys, you lose everything that was held by that account. So You know, the Casper protocol has ways that you can recover accounts and restore accounts if you've set up your account to do so. And I think bringing those kinds of features to the forefront is going to be really important to make blockchain technology more safe. And I think if you work with a company that configures your account for you, even if you custody your keys or your access rights, there should be a way to recover, right? And so working with them to build those kinds of tools for consumers is what's going to make it a lot safer for them.
My name is Ken DeCross. I'm the CEO of Wire Network. Wire Network is a layer 1 blockchain built on trusted hardware, and we have also built protocols such as UPAP, which is our interoperability protocol, which is bridgeless and universal, so it is across all assets and all blockchains. The goal of our company is to take what's currently being built and take blockchain into the next generation. Being built on trusted hardware means that we're not using any Intel management system or any Web 2 hardware to build in Web 3. We need to be able to decentralize that. The blockchain itself needs to have high throughput in being built to allow fully on-chain gaming, full DeFi, and the interoperability aspect for UPAP. We need to coalesce all assets and value in one layer across all chains. I've always been in the financial sector. I've been in blockchain since 2013. Before that, it was precious metals, so that kind of was the gateway into blockchain. But on the non-financial markets, I was like a regional manager for a hospitality group in LA, so I ran multiple multi-million-dollar operations. Yeah, it gives me great perspective that I understand the retail side, understand the financial markets, and understand blockchain. It helps us forge that path of having the general public being able to use the blockchain properly with ease of use, and also set up the tokenomics, game theory, regulation structure, all of that. If you look at the traditional financial market, it's been around for over 100 years, and regulation has still not regulated it properly. There's still corruption, there's still a lot of bloat and fat in the system, and I feel that before we acquiesce on the blockchain side, that we should force them to show that they can do it properly in the traditional financial market before we allow them to come in and make more bad decisions. If you look at the traditional financial markets, the bad actors there on a dollar-to-dollar basis are much bigger in sums than what you're seeing, even with the billions of dollars stolen in bridge hacks. That still pales in comparison to what's being done on Wall Street in the derivatives, what you saw in 2008 and 2009, the financial crisis, what you're seeing now. If you take it from that A-B perspective, there's bad actors everywhere, but the traditional market not being regulated properly has actually still been worse on a comparative basis.
My name is Olga Litvinenko, and I am president of USA for Ukraine and also a marketing generalist at the Casper Association. USA for Ukraine is a humanitarian non-for-profit where dedicated to providing aid to anybody who is affected by the Ukrainian war crisis. It started in Connecticut, and with the approval of our congressmen and senators and government officials, we were able to progress our efforts with co-founder also Dr. Ina Lazar. So we've been helping everything from the refugee crisis to distributing humanitarian aid on a week-to-week basis to rebuilding with a focus in Bucha. We've rebuilt over 204 projects in Ukraine, and we are expanding our efforts, depending on what the need is. Medicine is something that's really needed right now. It's been something that has been asked for in Kharkiv and other areas, and we're just really looking to provide also warmth now with the incoming winter season. And USA for Ukraine is really happy to be here. We have support, and we're also a little involved in the blockchain and crypto community through our verifiable NFTs. Really got involved with USA for Ukraine because of my family. I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and I was 3 years old when my family moved to America. So fast forward, when the war erupted, it just became a natural desire to want to help. Firstly, my family, so I was helping my family within the refugee crisis, helped my great aunt get to France, helped my other aunt get to Hungary, and then it just kind of became a natural desire to want to hang back and help everybody else that was crossing the border in Przemyśl, Poland. And then that continued. I really couldn't stop there. When people need help, when people really are in these detrimental situations, and I grew up in an environment where, you know, we are so focused on community, we help each other. America is based on democracy, and when my other home country, because I consider America my home as well, you know, I was raised here and grew up here, but when I see that there's this other country that my family is living in and they're fighting for democracy, they're fighting for freedom, it just became an inevitable to want to help towards that. And now I think that we're also facing such a global issue because it's affecting everyone, not just Ukraine. And it's not just helping my fellow Ukrainians, but it's also helping everybody here and globally who could be impacted and affected. As marketing generalist for the Casper Association, it's a proof of stake, decentralized layer 1 blockchain, and I first met everybody actually in Switzerland and really was very interested in the documentation. I thought that it was different than other blockchains that I've heard about. And I'm part of the foundation side, so one of our efforts is to onboard and bring on new developer projects to expand the ecosystem and to continuously engage and expand with partners. So it's great, and I think blockchain is something that is the future. So many people are talking about Web3, and while we're still living in a Web2 era, all the benefits of being in Web3, all the benefits of utilizing a blockchain and through dApps and, you know, continuous build of a bunch of different types of applications, there are huge benefits to it. And it's even more fascinating because I feel with everything that I'm experiencing with Casper and then USA for Ukraine, I also see ways that it could merge. And for a country like Ukraine before the war, it was, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it was #1 in gaming. It was #1 in usage for Web3. And I think there's an opportunity to also just be able to further improve and increase people's ability to obtain necessities through crypto, for instance. And actually, crypto donations were a massive part of helping Ukraine when the war first erupted. Well, as part of Casper and part of the marketing team, a lot of the things that we do is, and a lot of the things that I'm focused on, is really to just further develop and bring awareness and attention to our always growing ecosystem and opportunities that are available on the blockchain. So the team is really wonderful. We have an enterprise solution as well. And together I think that there's so many capabilities for companies and for individuals to recognize the benefits of blockchain. DeFi is really a wonderful place to be because the transactions that you can make on blockchain, one, they're secure, they're also traceable, and those are some of the most important aspects of any sort of money transactions. And they're also fast. So depending on the platform, and I think blockchains and crypto is still always improving in how to make sure that there's the best wallets that are available, and Casper's actually our new, we're transitioning from Casper Signer to Casper Wallet in the very near future, so we're looking forward to that, to also be able to have people of all different sorts and have an easy to use way to access the token.
My name is Ari Tro. My company is XY Labs, and my title is CEO. XYO Network is a self-sovereign data network that works as an oracle for blockchain. We've been around since 2012, and we've been in the data space, and I've personally been fascinated by data for a decade now. We were in different sensors and hardware technologies for a while, and we also had a lot of different data storages, but then 2018 we stepped onto the crypto stage and did a ICO then and became much more of a crypto-centric company. So our system at large uses blockchains inside of it. So it's actually many thousands of blockchains that are all linked together. And then we also have the ability to bridge onto existing blockchains like Polygon or Ethereum, so a person can access our data that's on there. So we're a mesh or a weave of a bunch of different blockchains internally, and then we also connect to external blockchains. It's very similar to the dot-com days, right? The dot-com boom and bust in the early 2000s was very pronounced, but eventually the real useful parts of the dot-com explosion became valuable. Amazon is a great example of that, where Amazon existed before the dot-com crash, and then it came out and it's now obviously a very large company. So it's definitely going to change the landscape of blockchain companies, and it's going to have a big impact, but it will not end the concept or the benefits which is provided by that. It will just really purify the networks. Well, I think a big difference also is separating crypto from blockchain. And a lot of people think crypto, oh, this is a bunch of criminals who are trying to use money for this or that, or it's shady or whatever it is. But blockchain is not necessarily connected to crypto. Like in our case, for example, we put data into blockchains. There's no payments, it could be used for payments, but that's not the primary purpose of it. So understanding how blockchains and how cryptography can actually be used to solve modern problems is not the same thing as speculating on cryptocurrencies, which obviously are interesting and valuable as well, but it's very separate. So I think people often are scared of it because of the fear mongering around cryptocurrencies, and that bleeds over into blockchain because people think they're synonymous, but they're not. The efficiency of that system is actually really, really good. So we can always see where crypto exchanges work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't have to worry about all the details of how like NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange work. So I think at some point, all those exchanges are going to kind of use blockchain as a back end potentially. It might not be completely decentralized, but using blockchain as a technology to actually facilitate those is going to be more and more common